Alright, so this one's going, so I'm a bit sick, so I'm a bit nasally. This one's cool. This one's been sitting stored away for a while, and the owner, whose name is Alan, has decided to get it back in action. Mainly acoustic player, so I'm going to actually make this feel more like an acoustic in a sense. He's gone ahead and put 12s on it, which is very brave of him. But by doing so, the neck has gone. And so we're going to do a truss rod adjustment and some saddle adjustments. But we're going to sort of leave it a little bit more in height wise, just to give it more of an acoustic feel. So when he does switch over from acoustic to electric, it's not that much of a strain. At the moment, the action about on the 17th fret is 3.25 on the low E and 2.5 on the high E. One of the key factors that Alan mentioned is he doesn't like buzz, which is quite difficult because, you know, electric guitars tend to buzz once you get a nice action set in. Not when you're plugged in though. So this just needs a setup. I'm not going to worry about any fretwork. Nut height can be a little bit better, but at the same time I sort of want it more like an acoustic. I know that I've actually played his acoustic and worked on one of his acoustics, so I know what they feel like. He's got the beautiful Gibson. Oh my god. So yeah, the way we adjust a Japanese neck like so is we loosen the strings. When you are using fixed strings like this, especially 12s, the G string is the most crucial. If you at any point screw it up or bend it, the string is done. You'll just experience buzz out no matter what. So you have to be very careful when installing this string. There's really no leeway. So yeah, we just loosen the strings. So any kink to a string that is this big, and it's done. So next up, we just grab a capoo, and we just place it. It's not the best capoo, but it will do. Just go like this, put that on, just to hold it down. And now, we want to loosen off the back screws. I like to gauge it, so just a decent sized screwdriver. Twist, yep, and not on super tight, which is good. This guitar is in immaculate condition, so we want to keep it that way, so I'm being very careful. So already I can feel the neck is shifted. So by doing that, what we'll do is we'll just take it off. At this point we'll switch over to my electric. We'll put a bigger head on it. And with most Japanese guitars, once you get the screw out of the neck portion, it just comes off like that. So I'm just applying a slight bit of pressure to all sides. I don't want the neck to fall off, but we don't want the plate to go AWOL anyway, so we just hold the plate like so. Remove the screw. Still holding the neck. Now, put it down like that. I like to have it hanging over the table. And we get some leather to protect. This is a poly finish, so we can use some tape. It's double bound. I worked on one of these recently for James. Pretty much the same guitar, but candy apple red. Fantastic guitars. They have the 7.25 radius neck. Can be problematic, but it's all good. Alright, so we just put some leather down just to protect, and chuck some in here too. Don't need to take this one down, it's just to protect in case the neck shifts. Now we're going to gauge the fit of the neck. And it's pretty average, so move it like so. There's a shim in here already, made out of wood, I can see. Really well done. So the neck has been shimmed, it's just a matter of adjusting the truss rod. We want to grab a screwdriver. We'll grab medium size, yeah, you'll do. So now this is the point where I'm worried, because I really got to watch this string here, because any kinks in it will ruin the string completely and I'll get buzz. So when we're dealing with a neck on this one, it's lefty, righty tighty, lefty loosey. I'm gonna tighten up quite a bit actually, if I can move it. Like that much. A little bit more, why not? Let's just compensate with 12s. That's on pretty tight. Now we can put the neck back on. Make sure everything goes back to how it was. Slide the neck in. Remove this. Now I can sort of just suss it out. But it doesn't matter till I put string tension on. So hold it up like that. We'll put that back on. Insert our screw. Now at this point I'm going to tighten it with this to a point. So we go in like that. Don't over tighten it with the drill. Or with the hand screwdriver, or the powered screwdriver I should say. Just like that. Reach to the very edge of it. Put it in. Just like so. Tuck that in. And now we use our screwdriver. So yeah, this has already been looked at by someone before me, because that shim is definitely not factory. That is the shim of a guitar tech / luthier. Which is good, because it saves me doing it. It's the last thing I want to be doing is sanding when I'm sick. Alright, it's tight enough. So now we're going to check for buzz. The action now, sitting at 2.5 and 1.5. Try bending on this, you can't. The neck is actually pretty straight now. It's too straight. Not straight enough. Let's do some adjustments. I just want to see what I can get away with. I'm just going to lower it a bit. This has got a 4-way switch in it. Before I do some adjustments, then I'll just check. Yep. No. Yep. 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 see what we can get away with. That's not wise. So we'll bring this down a little tiny bit, not too much. 1, 2. Now, I guess sitting at, yep, 2, 1.2. Cool. Might as well get you in frame. Baby's asleep, I hope you're You're a brave man, Alan, playing 12s in standard. Honestly and truly, it probably does need some form of fretwork. I'm noticing that with a lot of Japanese guitars. Check. But I'm not doing any fretwork because that's not what was requested. I'm just going to check. Because knowledge is power. should be a high fret around here somewhere too. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. It's a big one. That's a big one. But yeah, not requested. My job is just to set it up, and I will only do what is requested, unless I know a better way. Oop. So yeah. So now finally in the setup process, the next step, apart from giving it a clean, is when Alan comes in, see if he likes how it feels and how it plays. See what he says about the bit of buzz that's due to some high frets. This should not really be an issue, to be honest with you. But if it is, I'll just back the truss right off a bit more, which will crank the action a little bit, but the action as it stands is pretty damn good. I'm happy with that considering the radius. And the goal of making it feel like an acoustic guitar. 2 and 1.25. On my acoustics I like to go a bit lower, but yeah, should be good. I hope. Please let it be good. Anyway, give it a wipe down. We'll use a new rag. I would like to leave this city. And yeah, not all jobs are like this, only some of them are pretty much just setups and stuff like that I get in, but I appreciate it when it is, because it's not a lot of work. Doesn't cost the customer too much. And I get to play some guitars with 12s on them, which is pretty good if you ask me. 12s in standard, you madman. So yeah, we'll just give it a wipe down, just a light wipe down, I'm not pressing hard. Removing any dust and debris. There's a few scratches here already that I can see, but it is a older Japanese guitar. But yeah, the condition is almost like, you know, 9.8 out of 10, which is amazing. So what we got there is we got some flux. So when someone was soldering this, they didn't protect this area. What I normally do is I just get a rag, just put it like that and then solder over it. But yeah, we got some flux here, which I'm not going to try to get off because I don't want to rip off any paint. So yeah. I can feel the warning signs. I am going to check out the insides because I'm curious. But yeah. Check the engine out. I want to check the engine out, boy. But yeah, by simply seeing the shim inside the neck, I know that this guitar has already been taken care of. So the frets are actually really nice and polished. There are a few wear marks, but nothing to cry home about. The nut's really nice too. And yeah, it's just a solid guitar. It's Japanese, solid. Give it a wipe down. A little bit of damage here. Not by me, just talking to myself. Talking to my adoring fans. Alright, the stuff I'm using to clean is just the Music Nomad stuff. It is the best. Smells nice too. And yeah, just unfortunate that section. So yeah, let's have a quick gander at what the insides look like before we call it half the world away. Let's have a quick gander. I can also see some scratch marks here. So I don't know if you can see them, but here, that's probably from this plate being rested here. So the switch, it wouldn't have had the cap on, it would have been resting that way, and then that's what caused those scratches. You do know that guitar fixing is sort of like archaeology, yeah? Half the world away. Alright, let's see what's going on. Oh, hey, Russian capacitor too. What have we got? Yeah. Let's see what he's got going on here. Half the world away. So the knobs aren't actually grounded, but the pot should be. Yeah. So generally, the plate should carry the ground over for everything, but it is not. Now it is. It wants to, but yeah. So capacitor wise, the soldering looks good. Nothing wrong with that. It's a bit unorganized for my liking, but you know, it works. So we got jumper there. Nice Russian cap. Solder looks good. Yep. Yep. That solder's gone a tiny bit dull, but it's still perfectly good. Yeah, not bad. Like, a big part of me wants to go in there and clean it up, but it works and it's fine and everyone's happy, so I'm not going to screw with it, but I am going to just slightly adjust a few wires because I can. So that can come up through here, just rest there. Yeah, nice and neat. Yeah, cool, I'm happy with that. It's really difficult with a Telecaster because you do a really neat job on the actual control plate and it looks really nice, and then once you start attaching all the wires to it, especially with the extra wire that sports, it just becomes a jumble of wires. But again, no one's going to see it except for me and, you know, the guy who worked on it previously, so it doesn't really matter. It's sort of like, you know, do you pull your engine apart and clean it up every now and then, or do you just let it, like, you know, just age? So yeah. Cool. Call that one done. What we're going to do is we're going to get in here too. So the way we do this, we just get this in here, funnel it through. Again, be careful of this string. We don't want to kink it. It won't kink, but just always be mindful. So always, when you're using 12s, especially on this G string, just be mindful, because as soon as you kink it, you'll get some buzz and you won't know what's going on. I've had a few friends of mine who have said, "Oh, Matt, I've got this terrible buzz that I can't get rid of. I've checked the neck, I've adjusted everything, I've leveled the frets," and it's like, have you changed your string? No. So yeah, any kink you get along the fretboard will cause buzz, because the string can't vibrate properly, so it just buzzes out. So yeah, always be mindful of your strings when you're restringing. Again, this is completely fine, it's all working and it's all nice, but just be mindful. Half the world away. Just a minute here. I would like... Yeah, this has already had a fret dress done to it, or at least a fret end's tackled. Nice. Half the world away, I've been lost and I'm found and I don't feel down. Alright, I should just stop wiping it down. Just accept it for what it is. Alright, so... You can see that.